Hello, how you guys doing? Um, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good day out there. I'm about to present another video. Um, get right to it. And it, 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 um, I know a lot of people have made Dr. Umar videos. First of all, it has reached the level. But before I give it to you, the common people that make videos about Dr. Umar, I'm gonna show you that other people are really paying attention to what he's saying and what their outtake of it is and what rationality that in rationality when they hear something like this, what does that mean? And I made a video like this in the past before, and and I'm gonna take you to a couple of videos and shout out. And this is gonna be copyright 1976. This is for teaching purposes only. Let me start the video before I show you certain people's video. But you're gonna be shocked how some people really support this guy. And so the first video I'm gonna take you to is called Thought Riot Podcast. Thought Riot Podcast. These two commentaries, they're not black. Now, before I show you this video, if you're a black person and you have friends or you're real close, you're going to find this offensive. Your spouse is a different race. After this video, it's going to find offensive. So, and you're going to be shocked at how some people think. You're just going to blow your mind. And probably some people that's doing the algorithm of YouTube and when they hear some of these videos, they're gonna probably be shocked. So I can't believe. But anyway, let me get to the video.
Something I wanted to talk about is Dr. Umar Johnson, and let me see how I say his whole
No, I heard his comments on
Umar
Kanye once.
Rashad Ibn Abdullah Johnson. So, who is he? If you don't know who Dr. Johnson is, Umar, he is a doctor of clinical psychology and certified through the School of Psychology, and he specializes in helping parents with black children that have been diagnosed with some sort of behavioral disorder or needing or in special education.
Okay.
Which I was kind of surprised to hear that because I can't recall in any of the last few months where I've specifically heard him talk about kids.
No.
So
I've heard him talk about Kanye.
yeah, no.
And not mixing races.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Is he made some comments here, and why I think it's important is, so I guess I'll start with the comments. So he made a couple comments talking about why interracial marriage was not okay, and he said that Kanye is gonna jump from like a white woman, a snow bunny, to Snow Bunny, and what he's doing is he's just going into business with white women and white men. And if you read further into his comments, he says that it's not about being racist, it's about covering my ass in the end, where notoriously women live longer than men do. So if a black man gets married with a white woman, statistically he's more likely to die in the end, and she's not likely to take that money that they've accumulated together and go drop it off at a hood, basically, a mostly black hood.
Not really following this logic, but okay.
I don't either. I don't get it either. I really don't. And let me see if I have it here word for word. Okay, yeah. So, in Johnson's previous videos and speaking engagements, he has taken controversial stance on interracial marriage, same-sex marriage, and COVID-19. So he's anti any of those human basic rights.
So he's essentially saying that if a black man who's wealthy marries a white woman and he dies, she's not going to support. She's not going to support the black community.
Yep.
Like she's not going to, because he apparently is supporting the black community. She's not going to follow up with that after he dies.
So his exact words were, "It's not because I think the white woman is less than the black man," Johnson said. "It's not because I think the white man is less than the black woman. The reason I don't support black men or women marrying outside of the race is because marriage is a financial institution, and under most circumstances, women live longer than men. So if Dr. Umar marries a white woman, when I die, she will inherit my estate. And what are the chances that that privileged white woman is going to do a drive-by on North Philly and drop off $1 million check for the black kids in the ghetto? She's
Because
not."
he does that?
That was my thought too. And so he is Pan-African, which means that he believes that all black people are supposed to put their African heritage before everything, before their country, before their religion, before literally everything. It is the single most important thing. And I don't track that logic, and I don't think that's beneficial for anything. It's almost like Dr. Umar is attacking the belief system instead of the problem, right? Because it's not about whether there's interracial marriages or relationships. That's not the fucking problem. The problem is that black people have been held down for hundreds and hundreds of years, to the point where the white race has accumulated so much wealth, and I'm just in the US alone, has accumulated so much wealth that the black race has been starved of wealth, which has in turn created systemic racism within banks and credit systems, where black people are not statistically given the same type of opportunities that white people are. It has nothing to do with whether a black woman and a white man or vice versa want to marry or be together. That's not the fucking problem. The problem is that all of our organizations, all these companies, won't fix their problem of systemic racism by going into their metric systems and making adjustments to cater to the wrongdoing of black people for the last hundreds of years.
I agree.
I think his ideas are toxic in their own. I don't think there's anything beneficial. I think you're just creating more separation, because here's the thing. When you have a black man that is going out there, and he has a lot of arguments and takes that are really amazing too, so I don't want to say he's just like some piece of shit. I don't think he is. I think he's very intelligent. I think he has really strong takes in a lot of areas. This is just not one of them, in my opinion. But you have a black man out there who is very aggressively and firmly putting down his stance and drawing a line in the sand between races. You're opening the door for white people to do it, and that's dangerous, when the white people and the black people should be able to come to terms and say, hey, what's fair is fair, and we need to fight against the institutions and the systems to give a fair percentage, approval rates, wealth, whatever.
Inclusion and integration
Yep.
of all people.
Yeah.
Be a true melting pot of equal opportunity, no matter what the hell you are.
Evolve bigger than races.
I know, some people have this idea of wanting to preserve their culture and stuff, and I understand it to an extent, but I have no issue with looking at a future where it doesn't exist anymore, because we have bred to the point that you can't tell the difference.
I agree 100%.
I have no issue with that.
Me neither.
So what if everyone's like this light shade of brown and we're all fucking happy because there is no more race to worry about because we're all the same damn thing.
We're holding.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, we're holding
We'll create
back.
new cultures. It's fine.
Well,
Humans
have to lose culture.
We don't have to lose it, but we also will create new cultures inevitably.
Yeah.
Like we have been for thousands and thousands of years.
I agree.
There's nothing wrong with new. There's nothing wrong with change.
Yeah. Yeah, and some of his arguments too, another reason that backs some of these things he's saying is that if you don't put Africa first, then Africa will never be treated the same as some of these other countries. And that, I don't think that argument should have to do with the race argument. I think those two things should be treated separately because he's right in those arguments that Africa has been abused and mistreated and intentionally by the world powers of like China and the US and Russia and Europe. We have intentionally caused chaos so that they can't unite in Africa and get their shit together to where they're a structured, powerful, united country or countries.
Just so we can use them for their resources.
I know.
And it really should be them coming a war-torn country than them being united and being a country and bartering with us and benefiting from their own resources from their own fucking homeland, which is how it should be.
I agree 100%, and I think this is toxic, and this is a good situation too where a lot of times there's a lot of people out there that assume just because somebody that is like a doctor in psychology, they're going to have some really good forward-thinking take that they deserve more respect and listening. And I don't believe an idea like that is true. Like I said, I don't have any disrespect. I don't feel any type of way about the guy. And a lot of his takes are really positive and forward-thinking. And some of the stuff he says, I'm like, wow, that is fucking good, but this is not one of them. I don't think this is beneficial in any way, shape, or form. Just the fact that you're, like, I get his fight is race, I get it, but taking the Kanye situation and making it about him marrying a white woman instead of him acting clinically insane, and you're a doctor of psychology, like you're doing Kanye, you're doing your education and your doctorate a disservice by fucking manipulating that situation to make it about race.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
When Kanye is making everything about fucking race.
Everything.
That's the toxic part of what he's saying, is like he's making everything about race and he's also praising a fascist murderer. But
let's get above that.
Yeah.
Man. Let's get above that. To me, it just comes off racist, and I'm not one of those people. You know how there's this idea out there that like an oppressed race can't be racist. I'm not one of those people that believe that. I think that ideas are racist. And if you're talking in a way that is intentionally trying to keep races separate or making one race above another in any way, shape, or form, I think those ideas are inherently racist.
Well, it's funny because
we need to evolve.
There's this one guy, I can't remember who he is, but he's very conservative, and he's like, he speaks on a lot of conservative talking points, and a lot of people were calling him, he's a black man, and a lot of people were calling him racist. So it's like, yeah, because his ideas are racist. Even though he's a black man, he's being racist against his own people, basically, against black people. And I think it can go the other way, too. You could be racist against white people, and it's just the idea. That's all it is.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't think it's beneficial to fight racism with racism in any shape or form, because it just what does it do? I mean, negativity with negativity breeds more negativity. You will never get a positive out of that.
Yeah, yeah. An intelligent brain like his that is a doctorate in psychology and a certified psychologist through the School of Psychology, like, man, help us create a new system. Not trying to create issues about, like, keeping races separate. Let's change the fucking systemic racism. Like, that should be the tackle.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
that's like number one. I feel
Tell us
like.
how to do that with your psychology background. Like, what's the best way to get people in all races on board to change the systemic racism that's outside of all of our control? And that's what sucks in the US is it's not even like these institutions give a platform for us to vote and create change. The only way black people are literally stuck because the only way to change it is by the metric system within their banks that give approvals or denials, and the only way to change that is to slowly get black people more income to match the white people's income to have overall better credit as a whole, but that will never happen.
Not with the way it's set up.
Not for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And there needs to be some kind of understanding and
Maybe not
moving
thousands.
forward, you know?
Maybe not thousands, but maybe like a couple hundred.
I mean, white people, the rich white people are progressing at a more significant rate with income than rich black people are. Look, it's like, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking like slow change over thousands of years, but yeah. Crazy.
I mean, white people had dug their claws in a long ass time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you
That's
got
true.
a bit of a point.
Yeah.
You have these families that have been rich for so long, passed down from so many
Probably
generations.
hundreds of years.
Yep.
So there it is. So it made a lot of sense. But and my thing is, now on this next clip, the parents that's promoting this, they're black parents. Have they ever thought about the HIPAA laws? Have they ever thought about, I thought about, yeah, it's good information, but Dr. Umar haven't been up to date on the latest mental conditions. Yes, he has a doctor's degree, but does he do you think he stay up to date onto the patterns of the human behavior, the diagnosis of the human behavior? You may thinking that your child have this behavior and you take them off the medication like he said, and it might make the situation even worse. But you would think some black parents would do that. You don't believe me? Oh, I'm going to show you. They peace and black power, right? Peace and black power, but do you ever think peace and black power on logic? Do you think peace and black power get on second opinion? Do you ever do research like KKC say? Let me show you this video. But you would figure that, right? And if any psychiatrist or any other clinical specialist would use reasoning. But you would figure that, right? But check this video out. Copyright 1976 is for teaching purpose only. This is for teaching purposes.
Harvey building. Say to my face. All you doing is regurgitating what other people done had to say. Say it to my face. Okay, I believe that African people need to marry within our culture. I do not support interracial relationships. Do I hate white people? I do not. Do I hate black people who date and marry white people? I do not. But the reason I am of that opinion is because only 1 out of every 4 black women gets married. And if all of our educated black men keep on going outside of the community, then our sisters won't have husbands. My conclusion has nothing to do with hating white people. those hearts at? Give it up for our ancestors. Give it up for our ancestors who invented all of this. The folding bed, 1899. The folding chair, 1889. The fountain pen, 1890. The furniture caster, 1878. The gas mask, 1914. The golf tee, 1899. The guitar, 1886. Can I ask y'all a question? Can I ask y'all a question? Can I ask y'all a question? Facebook and Instagram, I want to ask y'all a question. I just gave you 20 to 30 significant inventions. Significant black inventions. The only one after 1954 was the cell phone. The only one after school desegregation was the cell phone. Here is my question, Black America. Here is my question. If we invented all of that before school desegregation, and we haven't invented nearly half of that since school desegregation, what did we gain from school desegregation? Our children have gotten dumber. That's right. Our children have gotten dumber. And that's a scientific fact. That's a scientific fact. As the black child increases in school grade in America, their average IQ goes down from kindergarten through 12th grade graduation. As the black child increases, as they go up in grade, the black child goes down in intelligence schools. Explain that to me. If you are learning more, why is your IQ going less? That's close. We need this. If black men knew that you getting your ass whipped as soon as you walk out the house, there would be a lot less domestic. Do you know what if it's 20 people outside dressed in black because the next door neighbor called the ski mask hotline, 1-800, we gonna get in that ass. And when you look out the door, you see 20 people ski masked up. Trust me, he gonna keep his damn hands to himself. Irony of racism is that if you're truly superior to another group of people, why do you have to disadvantage their opportunities? Let me say it again. If you are truly, the irony of racism is that if you're truly superior,
You heard the earlier
to one
video,
group of
right?
people, why do you have to disadvantage their opportunities?
You heard the earlier video, right? They were addressing this on the other podcast. Yeah. Damn, I did this video again. My cable knocked out. I think it's the wind that knocked out. Wind probably knocked out my Wi-Fi internet service. But yeah, so he made the argument about black professionals in the one video. It's like, Umar, black people who are professionals gonna do what they're gonna do anyway. A black man or a black woman, if they're gonna marry outside their race, they're gonna do it anyway. It has to do with who they interact with and what people have in common. People gonna do what they're gonna do. That's not the solution. People have their own minds. They make up their own opinion. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Shaming tactic black men and women into so-called sticking to the race, it's not gonna work. I don't know why some black people do it. You're wasting your time. If they have to see it for themselves. Some things, if they experience it, and they let experience it themselves. But shaming somebody into not marrying someone with, they have the capability of their own to know what they want for their life. And you have people that actually follow this logic. Look, every black person is different. every individual is different, and until you understand it, like say every white person is different, have a different belief system. Believe every other Asian person can be different. They don't all think and believe the same. Every Hispanic person has their own likes and dislike, and wants them, and like they ain't all the same. Everybody have a choice of what they believe, what they follow, what they want. And he lives in a fantasy land. Clearly, it's a make believe fantasy land that if you had something critical to talk about, basically what the first people were saying, they will understand the logic. But it doesn't make no sense. It really. Dang. Trying to see if I get back. Even my TV knocked out, so I know it must be my Wi-Fi. But yeah, that is so wrong in so many different ways. And then you're on a person that their platform on ownerships are predominantly white, spelling this rhetoric to other people. And this, all Instagram, YouTube, Google is people looking at this stuff. Wonder what they TikTok. Oh my goodness, saying some stuff like this, and he got kicked off of TikTok. Oh yeah, they put him. I think there was TikTok, one of them social events for spitting off with this stuff because it violated their terms.
Say it again. If you are truly superior to another people, why do you have to sabotage their opportunities? If I am inferior to you, you should not have to do anything to prove your superiority. It should naturally manifest itself. The only time you have to disadvantage the competition is when you are insecure about your presumed narcissistic superiority. There can't be white privilege and power without racism. If you eliminate racism, then where are they going to get the white privilege from? White privilege is based on an unfair advantage. It is based and perpetrated on an unfair advantage. How the hell are you going to keep white privilege without racism? They go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. And that's why you got white folks who will run around and tell you they're not racist. You got white folks who will run around and tell you they're not racist, to which you should turn around and ask them, what have you done to get rid of the white privilege that you benefit from since you're not a racist? The next time a white person tells you that they are not racist, your next question should be, the next time a white person tells you that they are not a racist, your next question should be, what have you done to do away with the white privilege that you live off? How did you get rid of your white privilege? How? How did you? When did you get rid of your white privilege? So that you and I can be equal. If you and I are equal, that means there's no white privilege. When did you get rid of that white privilege? Oh, they know where to be found. Listen.
And
they
then,
want to dance black.
on white people's platform, talking like this.
They want to be in Black Panther.
Google.
Everybody want to be black till it's time to face injustice. And then
Instagram,
when the police start killing,
Facebook.
they disappear. All the liberals go.
Talking like this. Just think about that. Either people doing algorithm is white, probably white.
Yes! They want to rap, wear your clothes, date your girls, listen to your music, drive your cars, big rims. But soon the cops start killing black folks, I'm a cracker. I'm a cracker.
Yes, he said that.
Me from Korea. But If I had a child who thought white people weren't racist and a white friend was okay, I would let them hang with them. Because guess what? There's no better way to teach a black child that white people are racist than to let them experience it. It's going to hurt them. It's going to crush their heart, but at least they will learn the lesson. You see what I'm saying? At least they will learn the lesson. As long as it's not going to put them in any personal harm. But just for my daughter to see that that white girl didn't genuinely care about you, when you went to her house and her parents said they couldn't find a wallet and she asked you, did you see it? I'm saying this didn't happen, but this is what happens though. You see them? In my 10 years on top of the black consciousness movement, in my 10 years as the most requested black scholar on earth, 7 continents on the planet, period.
7 continents.
For me, creativity is just like a language. It's just how I learn to express.
Let me interrupt right here. He talked about Korea, but yet he went to, and one of Leonard Arnold's video, he's over in Japan sitting in the whirlpool. And if you go to Leonard Arnold's channel, he will show you in one of his backlogs, but yet he's talking about Koreans and Korean people like that. So yeah, let it make sense about that. See, it's what he do in privately. This is what we're talking about. And you got people that really follow this. And then when someone points this out, his Umarians that go after people like KKC and Leonard Arnold and saying, why you picking on the brother? Why you picking on the brother?
7 continents on the planet, period.
I just attended
Watch
Dr.
this.
Umar Johnson's Black Power Parent Training in Washington, D.C. I found it very enlightening, informative. I can't even imagine moving forward in life without it. The information was so impactful. There was so much information, so much knowledge. And I hope that we can start a chapter in Hampton, Virginia, where I am from, actually. But attend the academy if you get the opportunity. Please do attend the academy. You can't go wrong, especially if you love your children, if you have grandchildren, nieces, nephews, brothers and sisters, especially people who are in special ed or struggling in the public school system. Be there to support them. The information that you will receive through this parent training is invaluable. Invaluable. We need it because he will outline and show you how the system is designed by law, legislatively, to send our children from the school to the pipeline. Do yourself a favor, please. Attend the parent training of Dr. Umar Johnson if he's anywhere near your city or your town. I drove 3 hours to be here today. I would have driven 6 if it was necessary. Peace, Black Power.
Peace and Black Power, everybody. The Dr. Umar Johnson training today was phenomenal. I learned so much information, things that I never thought to ask
requested scholar. As you know, for the past 4 years, we have been raising money to build America's first revolutionary Pan-African nationalist institution for black boys, based exclusively off the teachings of the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey and aggressive international economics for African people. I believe we have found the school. With the monies we have, I believe I have located the best campus for us to begin the revolutionary work of recreating.
Something going on Wi-Fi. Sorry about that. Must be my connection. You know how it is. It's kind of windy here in Ohio. But yeah. But go to Leonard Arnold's channel, cause he got a title called Umar Johnson makes school announcement in 2019, 4 years later. He bought the school in 2019. And then when they raised the money for the air conditioning, at that time he celebrated it. Then something happened where, I don't know, they didn't complete it or something, and it was getting installed, and he had the camera and everything. He had it on video. So it ain't completely installed. Then I think they showed the one part of the building, and it was like they painted the one part of the building. Then it's like they were saying that sometimes they didn't even scrape the old paint off the building. So they painted over the old paint of the building. what they were doing out there, they didn't scrape. You're supposed to scrape it down, and then get that old stuff off, then repaint the building. They painted over the building, and you had these people out there in the middle the time. And Leonard Arnold, I said, Leonard, I was in my little comment. He probably can't hear me. It's like, hey, if they foolish enough to go out there and do it, let them do it, because they believe in that black power. And on top of that, then you had another commentator said that it's gonna take back taxes even till this day, $100,000 about back taxes. So, and then KKC pointed that out, literally showed the paperwork of the property where his building is at. And so you're gonna have to pay the taxes. So after you don't pay a tax a certain amount of time, the city, the county can take that. They can take that property. But these people don't know this stuff. But they don't even know that they can literally take that property from him. But people he study asking for cash and cash and cash. He don't have no grants. He's doing he runs to all 3 different social media. So people, they not want to hold him accountable because he keeps swooning that we're working on it. He's not showing the blueprint. At least I give it to Tariq Nasheed. He showed what needed to be done. And he actually, if he get a documentary, he showed it. And I agree to a certain degree what he did. But this guy, but it didn't take Tariq Nasheed 4 years just to do something. It took a year. Even to get the building, Tariq Nasheed start working on the inside. It's a pretty small building. In LA, I gave him that much. But this guy, he didn't, for some reason, I guess it's my Wi-Fi. He didn't finish it up. So you have people still giving him money because he gave him some information. And I wanted these people, if they ever took his advice, what's going to be the outcome of their child? If he take them off of medication, take them out of the system, what's going to be the outcome of that child? Is it going to improve? Is their condition going to improve? Did they ever seek a second opinion? without someone believing it, and it could be, and maybe kids do learn different. Black kids might be doing, but there's a certain way. But even a black clinic is psychology, and people that work in the mental field. They know that they know the ups and downs with that because they could be liable for that, and it's an insurance reason why. No black people don't think about that. Something go wrong, and your child can have, and he tell you take your kids off the medication and stuff, and that's the white man system or something like that, and it can reverse. It can reverse on you. But some people they don't think. Some people they get so caught up, but they don't usually get a second opinion. Even if you're somebody working on your car, working on you, get a second opinion. Okay, you don't just go by someone's first opinion. At least being sure you know what you're doing, because if it's your own body, it's your child's future.
Consciousness talking to you. This is King Kong Consciousness talking to you. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. There must be evolution before there can be revolution. There must be evolution before there can be revolution. There must be evolution before there can be revolution. There must be evolution before there can be revolution. That's right. 3-on-3 B-ball tournament. 3-on-3 B-ball tournament. Newark, New Jersey, August 7th. Denver, Colorado, August 13th. Louisville, Kentucky, August 14th. Macon, Georgia, August 15th. Harlem, New York, August 17th. Kenosha, Wisconsin, August the 21st. St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, August the 28th. New York City, Black Parent Boot Camp. Nat Turner birthday, October 2nd. New York City, Black Parent Boot Camp. October 2nd, New York City. Las Vegas, West Coast Boot Camp. Let's make it pop. West Coast Boot Camp. Let's make it pop. King Kong Consciousness coming to you live and direct. FDMG Academy. It's not a game no more. It's not a game no more. It's not a game no more. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. Hit the Cash App. Hit the Cash App. Help us raise the money and finish the work, brothers and sisters. Hit the PayPal. Help us raise the money. That's right. HVAC is on its way. Permit is there. We're hooking the gym up. September 11th, Ethiopian New Year. We gonna see. Peace and Black Power.
Hold on. I'm gonna show you.
Thank you so much. No. We all finished here today.
We finished today.
We are going to thank Dr.
Queen Mother, I gotta give my quote from Frederick Douglass.
Go right ahead
Okay.
with Frederick Douglass. I'm sure that he would love to be quoted.
All right.
Thank you so much. Go right ahead.
All right. Don't disrespect me, Queen Mother.
No disrespect.
All right.
No
Don't
disrespect.
do that now. Because I respect you as an elder.
We're calling on the ancestors to be
All
here
right.
with us today.
Let's be respectful.
Go right ahead.
Frederick Douglass said, if there is no struggle, there is no progress.
All right, welcome to the live stream. Speaking of progress, where's the school at, family? Where is the school? Let's go. Hit the like button. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming.
He made a song out of it.
It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, they can't stand him. Oh, they can't stand this guy. Umarians, they can't stand this dude. They don't like this dude. Cause he got like a big subscriber.
It's coming.
Hold on. I'll get through all that. Because my seconds.
You know what? I'm not even looking at. I'm looking at this other thing. I just. Tariq is so petty too. What he's doing here. Okay, so I'm not gonna. I can't play this. I'm not. I can't because I just don't even want to go there. Anyway, let's get back to it. I tell you.
To my Africans in Europe, peace and Pan-Africanism to my Africans.
Tariq is so petty. He put a picture and then he put a Sasquatch. Anyway.
Canada, peace and Pan-Africanism to my Africans in Australia. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my South American Africans. Brazil, we stand with you. Brazil, we stand with you. Brazil, we stand with you. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Central American Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Caribbean Africans. Carousel, I will see you in April. St. Martin, I will see you in April. Suriname,
Yeah, thanks again, Crazy Hood. Mark says so good. Yeah, I'm back.
Returns to the Dutch
I
Empire.
had to get
Peace and
graduated.
Pan-Africanism
He
to
says,
my
congrats and welcome back to Keep Your Foot on Umar's Dirty. Okay. Yeah, and I will be live streaming more consistently than Umar because it's February, so it's 4 years since he made the school announcement. But I don't plan on keeping the same schedule.
Oh shit. Dang. Hold on. Sorry about that. My laptop do this once in a while. But yeah. They can't. A lot of people don't even like him. And he's not the only one that make videos about Umar that break down information. There's other people with large platforms that pointing actual information out. The time, because how long he been receiving donations since 2009, 2010. He have a record on that too. So he took about a decade looking for a school. He get to a building that in the Moyer Academy. He had it was a school that need it almost to run the whole the school and organization. They went through 6 principals. The Moyer Academy where the school is located, and they said in order to run that whole building, you need $6 million because of staff, everything, the whole 9 yards. So they had problem, and they had the school was going on for 6 years. And I think they said one of the reasons, Leonard on his channel saying the reason why is because it was not enough people that were enrollment. They didn't have enough people to enroll to keep up that big of the facility. And this is a school this was a academy, an actual charter school. And he pointed this out on his video. He actually showed on his video. Let me go back to my list. But you have people still giving them money because they're hypnotized with thinking that this make-believe world that they're gonna survive off of donations. He's trying to do it off of donations. Yeah, just donations. No grants, no special loan. Then he turns around and assault famous celebrities that because he'll go off on a wave topic like Kanye West, LeBron James, and Leonard will point that out, and he'll pick on someone else to say that because they stand in the spotlight. I think what it is, he don't like someone have a bigger spotlight. So people kind of see what he going to say about this particular person, and then he start saying something outrageous on when he goes to one of those music stations about some celebrity and them marrying a white woman and not giving back to the community, but yet these athletes are having millions and billions of dollars, how they don't help out black people and things like that, which that's their choice if they whatever they want to put their money at. But but he wondering why that other people.
The ancestors to be here with us today.
Let's be respectful.
Go right ahead.
It's the same man that did it.
Douglas said, if there is no struggle, there is no progress.
Hold on.
All right, welcome up. Just light it on fire because that's all you've done, and that's okay too. But just be honest. Meanwhile, maybe you have children, or maybe you have relatives who could use that money, or maybe you could have used that money. Maybe you could have bought your children some new clothes, some new shoes. Maybe you can take them out to go. I don't know, whatever. Go do something that's going to benefit and enrich their life because this is not it. That's the point. Nothing that he has done has enriched your child, but that's what he promised. He promised a school where he's going to save your black boy. What kind? I mean, that's sad. If you're going to use the struggles of black people, in particular young black boys, as the means to which you're going to get money out of people, and then they send you the money and you still ain't done nothing that you said, that's wrong. It's no different. And then for y'all send the money, all you're doing is burning it up.
That's why he's flying all around the country. That's what he's spending it on.
That's fine. You can support it. That's fine. You don't send them your money. Just be clear. Just be clear about the truth. That it's no different than burning it. Shit. Excuse me. I'm trying not to cook this YouTube thing. Got strict on that. But listen, it's we have one of them cast iron stoves, the old school ones. You can put wood in it and all that. Well, you go just listen. If you want to throw some money away, go on. I'll throw it in there.
Yeah.
All right, let me stop. I'm just saying, just be honest about it, okay? It's not, if you want to throw your money away, that's fine, but just be honest about it, okay? See, it's like when you, let's say you out and about, and someone comes up to you and say, listen, I need, if you have any money, because I have to catch the bus, my car broke down, and I got to go get some gas, or I got to catch the bus to do that, my job, I have to give them something, because it's cold, I need a jacket. And you know that it's all a bunch of bull jive, right? And but then part of you just said, you know what, let me just get in my car and keep, but then there's another party that says, you know what, I kind of believe them and I feel bad for you. So I'm going to go ahead and put some money down. Well, all you've done is you just take the money and you just set it on fire. Because all that other stuff was a bunch of bull jive, but that's Umar. The difference is, if people keep sending it, it's like, at one point, see, real quick, and then we got to get to, I apologize, but listen, I kept saying this, at one point, Umar have said, listen, this isn't going to happen, I know it's not going to happen, I need to stop this wrong, keep asking people for money for something that exists. It's a fantasy land, it's Hogwarts. But we can also say at this point, at what stage in the last 13 years you, Urmar Johnson followers, would it have been reasonable for you to say, you know what, when it comes to this specific issue of this school, FMG, that does not exist, at what point should I have said, enough is enough, I'm not supporting him on that, I'm not sending him money on that, and I'm not going to try to defend him and go on a little YouTube page and defend, talk about what's this new W bill. You have to be honest with yourself too, and it ain't got nothing to do with me or the Cookie Crush yet. You have to be honest with yourself and say, at what point is it reasonable for me to say, I'm going to pull back on this? Not only am I not going to send this guy money, which is nothing more than just throwing it away or burning it, but I'm not going to defend anyone who critiques this fanciful school that is nothing more than a scam. All right, I don't mean to go off this month. All right, let me get through some of these super chats. I'm a little behind. We'll get back to the video. We're not making much progress tonight. Damn, I haven't seen you in months. Yeah, I know, Angela. I had to take what wasn't even a break. I was working my butt off. I had to get graduated. I didn't graduate. I'm waiting on the degree. Got 6 of them. I'm going to, I got to get this one. I'm going to get 2. I'm going to at least get 2. All right? No, you wouldn't. And I got to say this, because I was thinking about this. I know Crazy Horse, this is going to sound crazy. It's going to sound crazy to Cookie Flush Chat, but it's true.
9858. My cell number 215-989.
Yeah, I know.
My cell number 215-989-9858. $FDMG School.
there are people, and then a lot of newer people too. They just don't damn
I'm
realize.
gonna cut this video off in about 4 minutes. Try not to make it. It's almost up to an hour.
Let me get out of here right now. Let me get out of here. I can't. I'm trying to, but I can't help it. I'm looking while I'm saying that. Yeah, he's gone at Charles Barkley. I get it. I've had criticism of Charles Barkley too. Barack Obama, Chucky Cheddar, Jalen Rose. Yeah.
You don't like the spotlight, other people's spotlight.
He's gone at Lord Jamar too, of course. Talk down to Lord Jamar. Yeah, he sure did. Yeah, that's that's a really good example too, Bob. That's really good. We all remember the Lord Jamar. Umar was very upset. Part of what triggered him was when Lord Jamar brought up his father.
Watch this.
Has created and established these schools and been successful at it for decades now. It wasn't the only triggering moment, but that was when Umar lost. Because if you guys remember, Umar was looking it up on his phone, and you should see his expression. He was so pissed. He was so mad. So anytime you mention a successful black person, in particular a black male, Umar, he takes it as a personal offense for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas someone like me, I look at it as inspiration. You know, someone who's successful, I'll look up to him. You know, make a change, information, man. I'm talking about this. Same thing with Brother Barrett, rest in peace. There's plenty of other people. You will hear me say that. You know, Umar, part of it, Lone Star, is Umar's ego. He wants to be the head. You guys know him. I mean, he wants to be the head. He wants to be the top. He's the greatest. He's the greatest of all time. He's the GOAT. And so if there's any other black man who he feels as if is in competition with him or doing things better than him or doing things that he wants to do or saying that he'll take shots at.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Tyreek. Mm-hmm. That's what he does with Tyreek.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't like Tyreek. A lot of people love Tyreek. I listen, Tyreek's not my cup of tea at all. See, but at the end of the day, what I've noticed is that when Tyreek, when he'll do something, when he collect money, he'll spend the money, he'll do what he said he was going to do. Okay, some people criticize the business model. I get that. But a lot of what Umar, his hatred towards Tariq and him he takes so many shots at Tariq. Tariq tends not to respond. There's been times where he has. But a lot of it has to do with Umar Johnson. He's just being jealous. And he's seeing Tariq being successful with creating movies. And Umar said he's going to make a movie. Where's his movie at? He collected donations for the movie. Where's the movie at?
Yep.
He was trying to be like Tariq. There's a whole backstory to that. And it had to do with money. Umar wanted more of the money because he started to see Tariq coming up and moving his family into a nice house. And it's expensive out there in Southern California. Trust me, I know. You know, driving nice cars and looking on. And Umar, what he had, he's still staying in his mama's house. So Umar thought he's gonna have his do his own movies. He's gonna do it, collect all this money. There's still no movie. So what does he keep doing? He keeps taking shots at Tariq Nasheed. And I get people criticize Tariq. I get it. You know, people criticize people all the time. But Umar specifically does it because of jealousy. And it's not just Tariq. He does it to everybody. He does it to any successful people that is more successful than he is in particular black males. He feel like it's a competition, and his ego can't take it because he wants to be the greatest of all time in the whole universe. Okay? Umar doing all this for laughs and giggles now. Cloud chase, yeah. I think Umar likes the attention though too. It feeds his ego. I think that's part of it too. At this point, see, let me say something else. Okay, I know we ain't made much progress. I'm gonna let the video play. Let me say something else. Umar really craves his heyday when he was selling out venues, and I'm not talking about chicken shacks.
Watch
and
this.
Lots, okay, Walmart parking lots. One time I said, I'll be talking to the Walmart park. I said, man, I'm talking about when it was professional venues, and in some cases at colleges and stuff back in the day. People would come out, all kinds of people, black, white, others, professionals come up dressed. They would have their, things to take notes and all that stuff. A lot of people don't know, remember that. Some people walking around don't know all that stuff. But that was when he was in his heyday. He was selling out venues, he was making all kind of crazy money. But then somewhere along the way, he gets lost.
Listen.
And now he's at a point where he's live streaming in front of an abandoned building in Wilmington in the dark. He's freezing, or he's live streaming inside of a gym, shooting baskets. I mean, it just gets crazy, right? But there's a part of him that really yearns for those old days. And so part of it is that at this point, anything to get any level of attention that he can get that reminds him of the attention that he used to get, he'll do. Which includes not just acting a fool, okay, for the giggles and stuff, but also attacking successful black men, knowing that it's clout chasing, that people are going to respond to that. And he's been doing that for many years. It's really sad. It really is. Okay.
Yep.
All right, thank y'all for being patient. I've been running my mouth too much. He's gone at Montel Williams. He's gone at Kobe Bryant. He's gone at Michael Jordan. He's gone at Mike Tyson. He's gone at Shannon Sharp. How's the one black numbers? He's gone at Shaquille O'Neal. Okay? He's gone at Jalen Rose, Barack Obama. The list goes on. We put together a whole list. It goes, and it's not just black men. Condoleezza Rice. I remember that.
Even the football player.
It's true.
Patrick Holmes. Dak Prescott.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right. Okay, let's get back to the video because we haven't made much progress. Tariq, keep it 100. Again, I'm not a Tariq fan or follower, but I'm fair. You see, Umar, he has been so jealous of Tariq that it's so unnecessary. Last thing, okay, real quick. Umar going at Tariq didn't benefit Umar, and it didn't benefit Tariq either. And Tariq going back at Umar at a certain point, but this is after years of Umar taking shots. It didn't benefit Tariq either. If they could have figured out a way to continue to work together, they could have built both of their brands and made even more money than they've been able to make. The difference is that Umar, he's fallen off. Tariq continues to make money, but Tariq is more business-minded. Umar, Tariq, this to put together one of those documentaries, the amount of organization skills and business acumen, and to do it consistently and make it successful, you have to really be on your P's and Q's. Well, Tariq has that skill set. Umar, on the other hand, he lacks organization skills. He can't keep focus on any given thing at any moment. First, he's talking about a book of romance, and then he's talking about the Africa trip, and then he's talking about how he's going to have a documentary, and then he's talking about popcorn on the block. I said, what are you talking about? He's talking about popcorn on the block with a pop lock, and I said, why are you pop locking in front of him? He's all over the place. See? But if they could have figured out a way to continue to work together, they could have built both their brands, and they would have benefited both of them.
And people come out for Umar. They still come out for this.
Tariq continues to be successful. Umar continues to fail. All right, thanks, Asune Kotlich. Okay, I think I'm all caught up in the chat. I'm gonna let this video play now, okay? Because I know we haven't really watched much of it. We got a lot to cover. Here we go.
Apps. Beware of fake cash apps. $FDMG school on the cash app. Beware of fake PayPal. It must say FDMG Academy on the PayPal. Brothers and sisters, if you're interested in working at the school, now is the time to get your resume in.
Watch this.
If you're interested in working at the school, now is the time to get your resume in. If you're interested in volunteering at the school, now is the time to get your resumes in. FDMGresumes@gmail.com. 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 New orientation for the Pan-Africanist of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade. I repeat, new student orientation for the Pan-Africanist of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade. New student orientation for the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade will take place beginning on the most honorable Marcus Garvey solar return of 2024. That is August the 17th of 2024. August the 17th of 2024. August the 17th.
Here we go. I can't tell you how many times he's done this. This would mean that the school would be open. If there is an orientation for the students, there would have to be a school. So everything needs to be. But see, he said this so many times before. So now, August 17th, 2024, that's what it is. Listen, you Umar Johnson supporters, some of y'all are like, well, things happen. I know this one lady said, well, because he's not doing it with the government, that's why he's taking this long. Listen, dear. 13 years is far too long. But the thing is that I'm not working with the government. That's just an excuse. That just gives him a comfortable excuse not to be successful with this. And now he's saying August 17, 2024. Now, I know it's always August. Listen, he might as well say August 17, 30, 24. It don't make no difference because he's going to change it again. So the point I was going to make was, here now he's saying 2024. He also said February of 2023. He's also said August of 2023. But he also said it was going to open in 2022. 2019. He said it was going to open in 2018. He said it was going to open in 2017, and he said it was going to open in 2016. And before that, he said it was going to open in 2013. 13, 16, 17, 18,
Oh, what
19,
did you say?
20, 21,
Cash
22,
apps.
23, and now he's saying
Dollar signs. PayPal.
And I can play you receipts on all of this. I can show you where he said it was going to open in 2013. Then the next time he said it was going to open in 2016. Because that's after in 2014, that's when he was going after the same point. We're going to have a school. It's going to be open in 2016. That gave him 2 years. Huh? A little over 2 years. Then that didn't happen. Then he said it's 2017 because we didn't get St. Paul, but we still looking. We're going to have it going in 2000. Then it didn't happen. 2000. We're going to do it in 2018. See? And then 2019, we're going to get to that video tomorrow. 2019 rolls around, and then he acquires these buildings up there in Wilmington. In February of 2019, he said the school going to open in 2020. We don't have enough time to get it ready for this year, but we will have it. We will open it up in 2020. And then he said 2021, and then he said 2022, and none of it happened. And now here we go, 2023. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing and expecting different results. Well, it also applies. It's insane to think that you're going to get different results when the same result has happened since 2010. Just lies on top of lies on Wakanda fries, and just excuses after excuses and excuses. Dr. Walker says he's still on his knees after 4 years asking for money. That's a good point too. And thank you for being serious. Because you always going crazy, got me going crazy to have the same crazy stuff. This is a good point too. He's still on his knees, Umar, begging after 4 years asking for money since acquiring these abandoned buildings. He has no shame. But you know what's even crazier is that he's been asking money for different school projects going all the way back to 2009. That's 13. That's a long time. That's 13 years. That's a long time. If your child was 5, your child is now 18. If your child was 7, your child is now 20. If your child was 10, your child is now 20.
Oh my God.
If your child was 13, they're now 26. If your child was 16, they're probably a senior citizen. But you see, it's been going on for so long, and he has no shame. That's why I was asking, at what point would it have been reasonable for him to say, listen, that's enough. I need to stop this. There has to have been a point, but I don't think he cares. Because why? Like Dr. Watkins says, he has no shame. And this isn't a real Dr. Watkins. He has no shame. He doesn't care. See, his lifestyle is so dependent on the school money and getting that money to live out his lifestyle that he doesn't care about anything.
Exactly.
He'll continue to get on that floor and beg and get on your get on your. He has no shame.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's a really good point. And just to take it one step further, why would anyone want, first of all, to support someone like this? It'd be different if he was making progress in his life, but in fact, his life has deteriorated. In fact, the money that people are sending to him, he uses it to self-destruct. But the other thing is, why would you want to even think to send your child to someone like this who has no shame? I mean, he'll get up here and he'll start talking crazy about loosey-gooseys and the JJs and the cookies and the hot fudge cookies and the peanut. Well, why that no shame? Why would you even consider that? And then when he starts talking about black women, he goes off. He says some of the most horrible things you can hear. Somebody talking about how your hair and all this kind of stuff and the weave and all this stuff. But when he was dealing with that stripper, he didn't care about the fact he had on that blonde weave.
And that was all over the internet.
Yeah, for him, it was like, listen, I think he into that. That's what he does. That's what he into. Personally, I like natural. I ain't gonna lie. I just doesn't be full and all that. That's me, okay? Because my hair ain't nothing. I like it all thick. All this is nice. I wish I had it myself. But Umar, he like that blonde weave. That's his business. So it ain't my business. That's what he wanted. That's his business. All right, thanks, Dr. Watkins.
Hold on, don't stop right here. But he tell women, if you got weave, you can't be hired at the school. If you got a weave, it's got to be nappy and yappy. He said, and a couple other women, and they still supporting him. and he's telling women that, and you got people still sending money to him. Black people still sending money. Seriously, they still send money to him. After telling black women that, and they still get behind something like that, and they still debate that. They don't even think about all that. And some of the people that support him, they just get so memorized. So, wow, that's some powerful information concerning children. Don't do no research. Don't see if it complies. The reason why, and if you're a psychologist and any psychiatrist or a clinician, they have to keep up to date on the human behavior, what's diagnosed, what proper procedure. But he probably got something that he don't stay up to date on his procedure. He tell what the white man has diagnosed your kid. So what's the solution? We'll do it. We'll just take them off. And we do it this way. And then instead of checking and seeing that if it's right, what if the child turns out that his condition can get worse? Who have a learning disability? It could be ultimate reasons why that child but they don't think about that. No, because it's all about this and not about logic. They don't question things. And it's pretty pathetic. It's really sad. And you see, that's long. And yeah, he might make some good points, but that's who they supporting. You can't get mad. Them folks ain't, like he said, they're gonna keep giving the money because they under delusion that they're gonna have this black power nation, whatever. It ain't gonna happen. You know why? Because you got somebody with a big ego. And if you look at past times, they always destroyed black and stop them and contain them. And some of these people, you can tell they don't really think things through. Who support him? They don't think it through. They so memorized because some information he got, and he can give you some truth here. The devil can give you some truth here and there, but don't mean that it's true. That's how people get caught up. That's how some people get into cults. Because you give them a little truth. Look at every cult leader. They did the same thing. They give you some. They can take something out of the Bible. They can take something out of the book. And you're like, wow, that's some deep stuff. But if you don't think things, we use a rational, God give you a brain to think and rationally do. But I don't think they really think someone do it. You in the inner city, one of the worst crime-ridden area in Delaware, and you're going to send your kids to that school on land that has some kind of waste problem. That he picked that place. I mean, and then you see some of the things he said. So hey, you can't. Hey, some people are just dumb, just dumb. That's just some people just dumb. They don't do no research. I showed one video with KKC. The one shout out to Leonard on the KKC pointing this out. Then it's another man. They make a change. He pulling receipts out. Then you got JT, the pocket watcher. He can tell you from an account standpoint of view. You can't do it. Oh, he's a sellout. Oh, he's this, he's that. But he's actually showing you government by paperwork, by law, by everything, by accountant. These Negroes don't even understand that. He even tell you. He looked at the paperwork and like, you can't do this. He's accountant, a public accountant that deal with taxes and all that stuff. But you can't tell these folks nothing, and they just give him money because they so influential. He make them laugh, he make them do all, and they just give him money. It's a sales pitch. Yeah, he's a real brother, but sometimes if you're a real brother, you have to use some real logic. But hey, even I probably get called a couple names like the rest of the people. But that's okay. Because, when you point something out, And from a couple of videos, it don't take much to blow smoke up some people's behind, and they believe it. They don't even use their thinking. They don't do no research. And think about it, it took 10 years for him to get that building. How many people you know that take that long to open up a school off of cash funds and donations? And keep coming to the public. Not keep giving you the record of it. Oh, he ain't got to do that. Okay, so you just going to keep giving your hard-earned money. You trying to save the kids. Okay. But anyway. I'm done with this video. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding, people. Enough said right there. If they want to send it, be a monk, let it do it. And I pray, all you gotta do is say a prayer for those kids. Because their parents is just, if they follow his direction, pray for the kids. Till next time, take care.